Greetings, tea friends. Welcome to Spiritwood Tea Collective. My name is Lon, and I'm here today to talk about Tuo Tea. Tuo is one of the shapes used for making highly compressed tea, usually puerh tea. And Shaguan Factory is one of the factories that's famous for this shape. This is one of their sheng puerhs. And I recently gave one of these to my friend David Specht, who is new to puerh tea. And I thought this is a great opportunity to make a video to help him learn how to break up his tea. Because Tuo and other highly compressed teas are a little bit more of a pain to break up properly than some other compressed teas. Maybe the rest of you can learn something from this as well. Let's get started. So I brought out a piece of parchment paper, but you could use any kind of tray really to catch the broken leaves in, or broken up leaves I should say. And then I've got a little pouch here that I can put it into when I feel I've got enough. And then I'll just leave the rest wrapped in this paper, waiting to be broken up later. If you're wondering if you need to be able to ever fold this back inside correctly, I've seen it done, it's possible, but when I open it, I know it will never be wrapped like that again. So this is the bottom of a Tuo. Here's the top, it looks like a cap that's hollow in the middle. And like with other bings, this middle part is the hardest part. And so we're not going to start there. We're going to start somewhere along this line. So the center, if you look at this, the middle of that, going upwards along in between these two walls towards the cap. And the whole time, I'm going to start with some pushing, but then I'm going to do some prying. And the whole time I'm just going to alternate push, pry, more or less. Now, here's the puerh knife. You do need a good tool. This is the best shape, or variations of this are all the best shapes that I know for it, unless you have some kind of woodworking tool perhaps. I would recommend finding a puerh knife, a proper one like this, a strong one if you're going to break up this kind of really tight hard tea. This is a strong one. And you can see I am kind of pulverizing it a little bit, but what you can't see is that I was feeling some sensations of these leaves cracking apart from each other as I was doing that. And I can already pry off some right there that are pretty much whole leaves. See? I'm putting one end down against the table. And pushing kind of down towards the table, going through it. Don't ever put your hand behind where you're stabbing. It's very easy to stab your hand when you're doing this kind of intense poking of tea cakes. Very easy. I've stabbed my hand before, and that is my main goal right now, is to not stab my hand. Alright, push, pry, push, pry, push, pry. What is this? These can be broken up a little bit, but they almost don't even need to be. Oh. Like that and like that, boom. Don't need to break it up more than that. And those are pretty much whole leaves. Now, it's not always going to be that beautiful. When I'm breaking up this part, parts really will break. But here you can see I've kind of finessed it to make them fall away from each other. And that's always what I'm trying to do, is finesse it and not break the leaves. The less you break, the better, as always, when you're breaking up tea. Pry. No. You might see me break my own rule and point this towards my hand like I'm gonna stab it. I do forget sometimes. You always want to put it down on the table like this, where it's safe to poke. Minimize the risk of poking your other hand somehow. Happens all the time. Etc., etc. I am really using a lot of force when I do stuff like this, but not a lot of force once I feel a little bit of give and I feel it going somewhere. And then I start with prying, more gentle prying motion. That's enough for a session or two. Hopefully enough to get you started yourself. I would just keep doing that. Leave this for later if I feel like drinking that tea right now, or break up a whole big batch at once if I've got time to kill. And the tea leaves in the pouch. The tea cake now getting wrapped up in a much more ugly manner than that which I found it. And now I'm going to enjoy this tea. Alright, we're first washing the leaves. So very short steep. I'm not going to drink this. I'm going to throw this away. Doesn't mean I can't smell the leaves. A little bit something is starting to come out already. Alright, first tea. So again, this is our Tuo Tea, puerh tea. It's from 2003. So in its 19 years of aging, it might not taste necessarily like it's been aged for a long time just because of how tight that compression was. That's the main effect of making that shape, is that the post-fermentation happens more slowly, more or less. So it might taste more like I would expect a 10-year-old chung to taste, or even younger than that, depending. But that is indeed the case with this one, because it has a very lively taste, considering. Deep one. You can really notice how beautifully preserved these leaves are, despite being 18 years old. They still have all of their shape and their character, and even different colors. And their strength, really. Not at all gonna break apart in my fingers like some improperly aged tea leaves might. This is pure Taiwan storage, so quote-unquote dry storage. The first steep is not too strong. You could see I only steeped it 10 or 20 seconds maybe. Has all the hallmarks that I associate with this tea already. Old book smell, leather, cigar store. They say that the tea from this factory tastes smoky. That is kind of their claim to fame for sheng puers. And I can't deny that it's there. And while I personally think that smoky tasting beverages are often off-putting, like I'm not a lapsang person, and I really don't like any of the Chinese juices, plum juices that are smoke flavored that you can get at convenience stores or anywhere. But these leaves, with their, I don't know, there's some mellowness with the age. That makes the smokiness less upfront, so to speak. And when it's there for a different reason, it's not because of roasting, it's not because of actual smoke being applied in the production process. This is sheng puer, meaning it's very minimally processed tea leaves. So whatever taste you get is just that tree's taste. We're tasting the trees from the place where they happen to taste smoky to human taste buds. Now I'll try the first and second steep combined here. Still pretty mild. I could have pushed these steeps a lot stronger, and that's one of the things about this particular tea is to make it really, really strong is still delicious. You just have to be up for something strong tasting. But if I kept making steeps like this, I could probably make 15 or 20 easily. This was about 7 grams of tea, and it's a small gaiwan. I'm not sure what this is, maybe 80 milliliters or so. But that's about it. I'm gonna enjoy this tea some more, and I hope you enjoyed watching me brew it. Take care.